Mysteries of Jagannath Temple in Puri. 1. Birds do not fly over this temple. When we look atop any temple, it's a natural sight to see flocks of birds flying around. But in this temple there is no sight of birds, the reason of which is still unknown. Due to this, even aeroplanes are banned from flying above this area. It will be apt to call this temple a natural no-fly zone. 2. Where is the shadow of the main dome of the temple? It is obvious that any tall structure will have its shadow casted on the ground. But this temple structure casts no shadow. It is still an architectural marvel. 3. Flag flies in the opposite direction of the wind. It's a universal fact that any object flies in the direction of the wind, but anyone who knows about this temple will still be wondering if it is true all the time. The reason, the flag flying at the top of this temple, will fly in the opposite direction of the wind. The 20 feet wide triangular flag is changed manually every day by trained priests who climb up the structure of the temple to change it. It is believed that if this ritual is stopped, the temple will be closed for 18 years. It has been in practice for over 1800 years now. 4. Mystery around the Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan Chakra is the weapon of Lord Vishnu. A Sudarshan Chakra, which is made up of 8 alloys and has a circumference of 36 feet, is mounted at the top of the temple. The most fascinating fact is, irrespective of the direction you will be facing, the Sudarshan Chakra always faces you. 5. A challenge to geographical law. It's a geographical law that during daytime the breeze blows from the sea to the land, and during night time it blows from the land to the sea. However, here the opposite of that law happens, where during daytime the breeze blows from the land to the sea and during night time it blows from the sea to the land. 6. An engineering marvel. Travelers and devotees can hear the sound of the waves outside the temple. At once they go inside the Singhadwar, one of the 4 doors, it becomes silent and continues to remain silent. They can hear the sound only when they step out of the mysterious and natural acoustic proof set up inside the temple. According to mythology, Lord Vishnu had granted Subhadra's wishes. She had asked for solace and silence inside the temple, and the wish was fulfilled. 7. Mysteries even in the scared food prasad offered in the temple. This temple houses one of the biggest kitchens. Every day the count of devotees varies from 2,000 to 20,000 per day. Every day the amount of food cooked remains the same. But not even a little bit of rice gets wasted. Also, the pots used for cooking are not reused here. They will be broken the same day it's used, and new pots will be used the next day. 8. The cooking pot mystery. Food is prepared using earthen pots. There are 7 pots mounted one above the other, placed over a fireplace. The topmost pot gets heated first, while the bottommost pot will be the last to be heated, which is still a mystery. 9. About the temple. There are several famous temples located in Orissa. The most prominent one is Sri Jagannath Temple. Lord Krishna, the 8th incarnation of Lord Vishnu, is the main deity in this temple and is worshipped as Sri Jagannath. The speciality of this temple is that Lord Krishna blesses the devotees with his elder brother, Balaram, and younger sister, Subhadra, unlike in other temples where he is seen with his consorts. 10. Beginning of a new era. It was time for Lord Krishna to reach his heavenly abode from this human incarnation. As destined, he was taking rest in a forest near Bhalka, located in Gujarat. A hunter mistook Lord Krishna to be a deer and killed him. Lord Krishna was then cremated as per Hindu traditions. As per some Hindu mythological books, while Lord Krishna's entire body turned into ashes, his heart alone was still alive. Yes, you read it right. It was tied to a log of wood and thrown into the sea. 11. History of the temple. There was a king named Indradyam who ruled Puri. He had a weird dream that while walking along the beach, he saw a log of wood. There came a divine voice which asked him to make idols out of the log. He woke up from his sleep and went to the beach. To his surprise, his dream came true as he did see a log of wood floating in water. As per some mythological books, the log of wood came from Gujarat. He then brought it to his palace. 12. Vishwakarma, who is known as the ancient architect, took the form of an old man and came to meet him. He told him that there was Lord Krishna's heart inside the log of wood and that he will make idols out of the log of wood and place the heart inside it safely. The log of wood had traveled from the Arabian Sea in the west coast to the Bay of Bengal in the east coast. 13. King Indradyam was overwhelmed to hear this and offered to follow his instructions. Vishwakarma said he would need a chamber for him where he would work relentlessly for 21 days without food or water. He instructed that nobody should enter the chamber before the completion of 21 days. If anyone disobeyed him, he will cease to make the idols. 14. The king instructed likewise to everyone in the kingdom. 14 days passed by when the guards informed the king that they didn't hear the hammer sound. The queen insisted that the chamber door be opened to see what is happening inside. Though the king was reluctant, he obliged and opened the door. Upon opening the door, they could see the 3 idols left unfinished. A divine voice was heard saying as they didn't fulfill their promise, the idols were left incomplete. 15. Upon hearing this, the king and the queen cried bitterly, but the voice asked them to place the idols as such for worship and that it was all destined to be so. This is the reason why there are no palms in the hands for all the 3 idols in this temple. 16. Even today the idols are replaced with new idols once in 12 years. This festival is called Nabakulebur, which means changing of one's physical form. The head priest of the temple conducts this ceremony. He is blindfolded and will be wearing gloves during this ceremony. It is believed that Krishna's heart emanates a blinding sacred blue light which shouldn't be seen with naked eyes. The temple premises are shut and the electricity supply to the entire city is cut off for an hour. 17. Few more interesting rituals, or rather mysteries. There are several rituals performed only by the descendants of specific families associated with Nabakulebur as listed below. The first one is to identify the holy trees from which the idols have to be made. There are several specifications for selecting the tree for each of the idols. Sacred neem trees with rigid specifications are selected and used for the purpose. Next, while cutting the trees, first the tree should be touched by golden axe, followed by silver axe, then by iron axe. Then 108 names of the Lord are to be chanted. The logs are then transported by small carts pulled by devotees all the way till the temple at Puri. Starting at an auspicious hour with the fullest of secrecy, the logs are carved into deities within the temple premises. Then the carvings of the deities are carried by descendants of certain families who know the rituals and measurements of each idol. The carvings take place in a closed enclosure for 21 days, during which the carvers don't consume even water. The soul transfer ritual is the most important ritual, wherein all the new deities are taken inside the inner sanctum of the temple and kept facing the old idols. Everyone is forbidden from entering the temple. The person who again is a descendant of a certain family will be fasting and meditating the whole day inside the temple. The miracle will happen during the night time. The person who will transfer the soul heart should blindfold his eyes. He will stand in front of the old deity. Something will drop into his hands, after which he turns towards the new deity. It then disappears from his hands. It's Krishna's heart that falls into his hands from the old deity and that gets fixed into the new deity. The person who does this experiences a divine feeling which they say cannot be expressed in words. During this ritual, electricity will shut down not only inside the temple but also in the entire city of Puri. This ritual took place recently in the year 2015. The old deities are then carried and buried in the Koili Bekund before dawn. There are separate graves for the three idols. It is a mystery that after 12 years, when they dig that place to bury the deities again to be replaced with new ones, the old deities that were buried 12 years back will not be seen. 18. The adamant chariot. The chariot does not move, even if numerous people pull it, until and unless the king of Puri, the Gajapatis, do not come and perform a ritual known as Kshaira. These are some of the mysteries related to Lord Jagannath. Jaya Jagannath.